Hello people, and welcome to my very first ever video on this brand new YouTube channel. This is a PC gaming channel, basically with some educational elements thrown in there from time to time, because that sort of thing is good for you kids and people. This is Minecraft, and this game is sensational, and it is literally the work of Notch, which is very appropriate for this video. Notch is the nickname for the indie developer, or the indie video game developing man, whose real name is Marcus Pearson. He's from Sweden, which is also happens to be the place of origin of the Lego toys, which I think is appropriate because this game is basically a block. What's the word I mean? Editing's not the word, it's the one that comes to mind. Block manipulating game. But it also has strong RPG, well, not strong, but I mean, it has basic RPG elements thrown in there as well. So this game is basically in the sandbox category of games where you basically do whatever you want. Other games in this category are, say, Far Cry 2, all the Far Cry games. It's sort of a sandboxy first-person action shooter. Spore, if you've ever played Maxis's Sid Meier's Spore. Also Sim City. Basically Sim Anything is a sandbox game where you basically do what you want, and it usually involves a tremendous amount of creativity of various types. Anyway, like I said, this game was developed by Notch, and who is a indie developer, which means he basically is a self-made man and created his own company in order to make this game, rather than, you know, basically go to one of the big name companies like EA or Nintendo or, I don't know, 343 Industries or whatever to get them to produce the game for him. He just went out and made it himself with Java code. But anyway, I'm really digressing. It's time I actually get to the game. Oh, and by the way, so let's get into single player mode. And I will start a new world. Create world. I will give this world a most fantabulous name of maybe Thermopylae is not such a good one. That implies horrible things and disaster. I mean, Leonidas ultimately died in that battle after all, didn't he? How about Concord? Because in Monty Python, that guy actually ended up surviving. I mean, he felt like he should, you know, he felt like he could get up and go walking around, man. I mean, he's pretty good. Anyway, there's 3 different modes in Minecraft. Survival, Hardcore, which is basically you have 1 life, and then Creative, where you basically can do anything and have unlimited stuff. You can fly, blah, blah, blah. More world options. Generated structures, which allow the creation of just random villages and small basements called dungeons that have spawn points for infinite spawn points for enemies and treasure chests for you to loot. And there's also temples of various types that you can find. Allow cheats. I think for the purpose of this, for showmanship, I will leave cheats on. It basically allows me to change the game into creative if I want to. The world type I will leave at default, but there's 4. Default's just like a regular world with smallish biomes. Super flat is, there's different types of super flats, but it's just a flat world. Large biomes is, if it's a desert, it's a huge desert. If it's a forest, it's a really huge forest. And then there's amplified, which is probably the best one they've ever made. Basically, the world is really, really tall, and it ends up looking very similar to James Cameron's Avatar. That planet Pandora in that movie looks a lot like that. Or if you play Magic the Gathering, it looks like some of the artwork for a land type mana. So it's actually quite cool to mess with that. But this is not the best machine in the world, so I'm probably not going to do that. Bonus chest. Basically, I think it should be called starter chest, really. It just gives you some starting tools and things that are useful for you to get started quickly in a survival mode game. Now then, so Concord is ready to go, and I will create the new world. So now it's loading and building terrain. So the wonderful thing about Minecraft is that it literally builds the world as you explore it, which is quite fantastic. Um, you just unlike this is pretty exclusive to the PC version, maybe a few other versions. Well, that was weird. That initial skin you saw on my character is the normal skin. It's called the Steve skin. But this is the skin that I created in paint, literally just a regular old paint. And this is my guy. I just painted over Steve with one or a few pixels at a time and put a bunch of knives and swords and things on him. Anyway, oh, and here's one of these temples I was speaking of earlier. This is a pyramid temple, and there is a trap in there. But, what the heck? Why not? I'm gonna live in that temple. Because I can. No, never mind. I'm not going to. That'd be stupid. That'd be unfair. Anyway, so this is survival, and you're kind of like, what on earth am I supposed to do? Okay, you left click on a block. Whoa, holy crap. I got dirt. And you right click. Holy crap, I got that. You tag grass, and it'll randomly drop seeds for you. Here's some roses. It's all quite fantabulous. Oh, look at this. Is that a tree? Honey badger don't care. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm definitely going to try to keep some humor in this. One of the reasons why I'm starting this channel is I realized, achievement get, that I'm actually quite good at talking to myself. But in future, I hope to recruit friends to play online with me with their various machines. I know a handful of good guys, such as Andrew and Andrew, who might both be willing to do this. They're big Minecraft fans. And why is that on fire? This is most unusual for things to start out on fire. I will go and be Smokey the Bear and put this sucker out. But I'll also be a cheapskate about it. I'm a practical man. Mandalorians taught me this. Okay, no. Actually, this is quite practical, because as soon as you start taking out these logs, the leaves of the tree will immediately biodegrade. And to put out fires, all you gotta do is left click or throw water on them or a block or something, and it goes right out. But, I mean, fire's not a huge danger most of the time, unless your wooden house catches on fire. Like your completely wooden house. But fortunately, you can use other building materials such as stone, sand, glass, cobblestone, stone bricks, regular bricks. I mean, you can use anything. So I've gathered myself a ton of wood, and it's tempting to build a house on top of a hill, but I don't think I've done that too many times before. I'm going to go into the desert and set this house up. That is a cow. There's basically no gender in this game, which is kind of odd, but, you know, so every cow literally is a cow, literally a female. Technically, the gender-neutral term for cattle is like, well, cattle, or bovine, but and cow refers to a female bovine that has started its second lactation or completed its second pregnancy. Though sometimes after the first pregnancy they're called that. Yes, it actually happens to be one of my fields of expertise, is dairy farming. At any rate, it is a myth that only bulls can have horns. That's ridiculous. Males and females have horns too. It's just that in America... Oh wow, I just said in America. Anyway, in America, we tend to dehorn our cattle. In fact, all of our cattle normally. I'm not sure what the deal is with people leaving horns on their bulls, but we dehorn our cattle for safety reasons, but naturally almost all cattle breeds grow horns for the purpose of protecting themselves from various wild animals, like cheetahs and pumas, and maybe wolves, definitely a thing. So yeah, like I said, education. And it's also a fact that all bovines, though they do possess nipples, they don't necessarily have huge bags. Like, you know, they're not, I mean, a bull or a steer is not going to have a huge bag like a cow. It's kind of, you know, mammal biology 101 right there. Let's not get into that too far.